they would have felt that they maybe let it slip against Ireland today. They, at one stage, really threatened to get over the line. Halfway through the chase, they had scored exactly half the runs, but some impressive bowling from George Dockrell, and Mark Adair pulled it out of the fire for Ireland. And maybe just showing really that Nepal side, Jamil, a little bit inexperienced, some of the younger players coming into the team.
Well, I think they are playing matches from last almost 1 month. And I think most of them are getting good experience in Singapore. They have got a very good outcome. Unfortunately, they couldn't make up for the qualifier. But today it was really unfortunate that I think they crumbled against his pace attack of Ireland. And then later on, this Dockrell and other really brought them down. And finally, they were beaten by Ireland.
It was those 3 or 4 overs around the halfway point that Dockrell and Simi Singh bowled, where Nepal just couldn't seem to get it away. And that required run rate started to come into play, and as soon as that came into play, then the wickets began to fall. And remarkably, they were bowled out, having been 2 down. They were similar innings in many ways, both Ireland and Nepal.
But I think Dockrell bowled absolutely brilliant for Ireland.
It's just going to be a single out to the cover sweeper in the deep. Ackerman just starting to open the shoulders a touch. Plenty of batting to come for the Netherlands, though. You think of the likes of Roelof van der Merwe. I see Scott Edwards and Peter Seelar himself. The captain will probably see Peter Seelar coming in next, who made that Dutch record 90 in the Tri-Series in Ireland. Another good change of pace. You can see deceiving Tony Stahl. He looks to be a real front foot hitter, Tony Stahl, doesn't he?
Yeah. Actually, he saw him coming up and cleverly bowled a slower ball. Variation for the fast bowler is very important in T20, Andrew. Getting 20 runs in an over is not that much difficult nowadays for T20 games. Fiaz, right arm over the wicket now, bowls to stall.
Comes off the outside edge, goes over the head and dropped. It should have been taken. Backward point running back. He got both hands to it, but he was very close in there at point, and Fayez but flings his arms out in frustration. That catch should have been held.
No, I think it was a difficult catch going back towards them. It was difficult to hold, but it got both hands of it and finally it slipped out of his hand. It's a good try from Aqib Ilyas. But those catches are, win matches for you. Little more effort will bring you victory for the game.
Yeah, big turning point there in the match. Skewed away off the outside edge, and the end result is 2 runs for Tony Stahl. But it was a really good over from
Fayez
Butt. I spoke about this Oman pace trio. Mohammed Nadeem, Bilal Khan, Fayez Butt, all capable of getting it up over in excess of 80 miles an hour. Showing good signs here.
Bilal is hitting 139k, about approximately 139, 140. Same as Fayez Butt. But today I think Nadeem is bowling about 140 approximate, what I believe at the way.
Good batting from Colin Ackerman, just working that into the leg side, and that's going to bring the 50 up for the Netherlands in the 8th over off the first delivery of the 8th over. Been impressed by what we've seen so far in this morning's game. You've been here all throughout the week, Jamil, and the standard of cricket's been quite high.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'm impressed with the fielding of all the teams. No, we are very much aware of the fielding from Ireland and Netherlands, but Oman, Hong Kong, a bit patchy, but ground fielding was excellent.
Yeah, I think the quality that Nepal showed today with their fielding was outstanding, and probably was the thing that dragged them back into the game.
Absolutely, yes. They are very young side, Nepal team. All boys are, I think, under 25 years of age. And whereas if you compare with Oman, we have all above 30. And a few of them above 35.
Yeah, plenty of experience in
Yeah,
this.
experience is there, but you know the fitness as well.
In this Oman side, a lot of the players born in the 1980s. That one skews off the outside edge again, and Tony Stahl is going to live another day for the second time in 2 overs, just skewing it over the man at backward point, living by the sword at the moment.
Similar shots on both sides from Tony Stahl. First he played towards the deep point up in there, and again this time behind the deep gully, but it's quite high in the air. It's difficult for the fielder to catch it on. But the other one, which was played on the other side, was almost a catch which has been dropped.
Just punched into the offside, going to be a dot ball. Nadeem continuing to operate at a good pace here.
Absolute pace, just hitting on the wickets. Not giving any room for the batsman to hit Nadeem. Just absolutely spot on.
You remember this Dutch side will have Ryan Tendashade to come back into the squad for the T20 World Cup qualifiers. Tendashade, the captain at Essex, of course, the county championship winning Essex side. He's just having a little bit of a break at the end of a very long season. But with the injury to Ben Cooper, it's left the Dutch bare to the bones. Just 13 available fit players, the two to miss out today. Tim van der Hoogten, the big Glamorgan seamer, and young Philippe Boissevan, still just 18 years of age. He'll be 19 next week. The young leg spinner, who was an adventurous selection from the Dutch head coach Ryan Campbell.
Yeah, you're going to see some very, very young faces in T20 and international cricket, like Lamijane is there, Rashid Khan is there.
Strays down the leg side this time. That'll be signalled wide. Yeah, and the advent of leg spin bowling really in T20 cricket has given it a second birth after the retirement of Shane Warne. Warne, of course, in the 90s and 2000s brought the art of leg spin back to the game, really, didn't he? But Rashid Khan, Adil Rashid, Shadab Khan, Sandeep Lamachani, leg spinners really profiting in the shortest format of the game.
Yeah, that was the time when you have Shane Warne and then Anil Kumble was there.
Powerfully struck by Colin Ackerman. That's a glorious shot all the way along the ground. One of the classical textbook shots of the day. So the wide is going to cost Mohamed Nadeem 5. The extra delivery going for 4.
Beautifully shot, stuck between cover and extra cover. It's half volley, full-blooded shot, straight to extra cover boundary.
So 8 overs gone. The score moves to 59 for 2, and the game right in the balance. Colin Ackerman starting to show what he can do in Dutch colours.
Yeah, of course.
The Dutch side that we saw in Dublin for the triangular series between Ireland, Scotland and the Netherlands was shorn of all its county professionals. So Colin Ackerman, Tim van der Hoogten.
Who won that tournament?
Ireland came out on top in a thriller on the last day, managing to hold their nerve against Scotland.
Traditional arch rivals, huh?
Yeah, the Celtic rivals. As a valiant effort at mid-wicket, just parries it through to Bilal Khan at long on for a single. But I think the Dutch side, despite them finishing bottom of that table that week, what Ryan Campbell was most pleased with was the additional game time for the sort of fringe players on the squad, the likes of Tony Stahl, the likes of Brandon Glover, who came into the squad for the first time. But with the returning Colin Ackerman, Roelof van der Merwe, Tim van der Hoogten and Ryan Tendashade to still come back in, they have a really good lineup. Quick single is aided by the fumble from Amir Kaleem. Clean pickup and a direct hit would have been interesting there.
Yeah, very close. He's a very good, brilliant fielder, Amir Kaleem. I don't know. But it all, the pressure, sometimes you go for the run out and then the ball fumbled in your hands. What has happened to Amir Kaleem? Well, Wender Merv is one of the best all-rounders we have in the game today. He's played all sort of cricket, T20, ODI, and magnificent performer.
Slower ball, and the change of pace is wide outside the off stump. Tell us about the youth structures here in Oman. Is there some good young players coming up?
Yes, of course, yes. We do have a good backup at the moment. With the, the team is going very well from last couple of years. With that one, a lot of interest has been generating in Oman, in the local cricket and local boys also. We do have about more than 200 Omani players playing cricket here. We have 13 or 14 league from A to I, J, K.
Powered into the offside, too full into the slot. It's going to run away all the way for a boundary 4. Good batting from Tony Stahl. That's where he likes it. Gets on the front foot and tries to power the ball down the ground. That one going over extra cover. Not a good piece of bowling from Fayaz Butt.
Yeah, Tony Stahl is a very aggressive player. He's not letting any ball to go. Sometimes he's over adventurous, but whatever he got, he passed through the boundary lines.
You can see he tries to clear that front leg, doesn't he? And look to power the ball down the ground. Long off and long on or out, but that one went over extra cover. Looking to do the exact same again. It's not incredibly pretty on the eye, but it's quite effective.
Yes, of course, yes. But what I've seen, from last most of the matches, the Dutchmen and the Irish players, they are more comfortable in playing half volleys, over pitch deliveries on the back foot. They don't have that much, power of punching as normally those top order batsmen should have.
He looks for the cut shot this time, but there's protection out there, so it'll just be a single, even though Ackerman's quick between the wickets. So given the scores we saw this afternoon, what do you feel that Oman would be comfortable chasing? Something in the region of 140 or 150 perhaps?
Well, honestly, if you ask about Oman chasing, the record is not that much good, to be honest with you. But with this long batting lineup they do have, I hope a total NSA 160, 165 will be achievable for them.
Hit into the offside and it misses the diving stop of Zishan Maksud, and the attempted footwork on the boundary does not come off. We saw Sandeep Lamachani pull that one off earlier. He got the boot out, but this time a really poor piece of work in the deep. He surely had time to bend over and pick that one up. Instead he tries to get the left peg out and it runs away for a boundary 4.
It was Mehran Khan, right on deep mid-off. End of the 9th over, 71 for 2.
Yeah, we're just seeing the replay on your screen there. A real shocker from Mehran Khan. He got the boot out, and unfortunately for Oman, he couldn't effect the stop. The man with no shirt on his back. Was allowed a boundary 4. So 9 overs gone here. Netherlands 71 for 2, and probably just moving into the ascendancy. We're going to see leg spin for the first time today. We've seen both leg spinners on show so far this morning take wickets in the shape of Sandeep Lamachani for Nepal and Gareth Delaney for Ireland. But it's going to be the big tall leg spinner, Kawar Ali. Not a huge turn of the ball. He tried to smash it out towards cow corner with the slog sweep. But the drift and the dip did the job for Kawar Ali. He's got a wicket with his first ball. The Dutch fall now to 71 for 3. So he's going to be the skipper, Peter Seelar, to the crease. number 5 for the Netherlands. He's been a man in good form with the bat for the Dutch. When I was speaking with Ryan Campbell on the streams in Dublin, he was explaining how Peter Seelar has worked his way from number 11 all the way up to number 3 in the order sometimes, but number 4 or 5 is where he's generally found, depending upon what side the Netherlands have out. But it was a record 96 not out that he made, a Dutch record, the highest score in Dutch T20I history against Scotland in that tri-series. And Cower Ali has 2 wickets and 2 balls, outstanding from him. It was back of a length. Colin Ackerman looked to cut it away, but he could only cut it as far as the captain's Ishan Maqsood. And the leg spinners are just continuing to wreak havoc here. A little bit of extra bounce perhaps from back of a length. Ackerman was on strike because the batsman had crossed the ball before. Here's the replay. Looked a little bit of an innocuous delivery. And Ackerman's going to be disappointed with that shot. You could see as soon as he hit it, he was disgusted. Jamil Zaidi's rejoined me. The magic golden arm of Cower Ali.
He is doing extremely well from the last couple of matches, though he's more of a batsman, but from last couple of years, he's bowling extremely well. His leggies. In the last match also, he took 3 wickets against Ireland. Today, in the very first over, he got 2 wickets. Brilliant bowling. He is varying the ball, you know, right arm leggies, flippers, and these googlies, making batsmen difficult to play.
He's going to be on a hat-trick because he's got 2 wickets and 2 balls, the first 2 balls of his spell today. And Roelof van der Merwe is the new man to the crease, and you can hear the Oman crowd in the background really getting into it. They're cheering for the hat-trick. Can he find it? Cower Ali, 2 and 2. Can he make it 3 and 3? Big appeal. Given, it's going to be a hat-trick for Cower Ali here in Oman, much to the delight of the home crowd. They're running about. Extraordinary scenes. The first 3 deliveries of his spell. He's got 3 for none. Cower Ali, the leggy, is on fire.
What a magnificent piece of bowling from Cower Ali. Really unplayable. 3 balls, 3 wickets.
Here's the replay, Jamil. You'll see it on your screens now. It pitched in line. It did hit him on the front pad. It was a huge appeal. The umpire took his time, but he's given him...
What a magnificent bowling performance from Cower Ali. He's among the wicket takers from last couple of matches. Against Ireland, he also bowled superbly with minimum runs he has given away. And today, in the very first over, he got 3 wickets in 3 balls. First hat-trick for him in international cricket. Lovely bowling from him. And Oman must be pleased with the way he is bowling, and the crowd is really very happy.
Yeah, and with that, he becomes the first man from an associate nation to take a T20 international hat-trick. He joins an exclusive list. He becomes just the 10th cricketer to do it. We saw Mohammad Hassan do it for Pakistan against Sri Lanka just last week. And of course, Lasith Malinga do it for Sri Lanka against New Zealand before that in September. But he joins an exclusive list, becomes just the 9th cricketer to do it, the 10th in history, because Malinga's done it twice, but he joins Brett Lee, Jacob Oram, Tim Southey, Tisara Pereira, Fahim Ashraf, Rashid Khan, Mohammad Hasnan, and of course Lasith Malinga. So, congratulations. What a moment that is for Cower Ali. Can he make it 4 wickets and 4 balls now?
Anything can happen. The way he's bowling, it might be possible.
Well, he's not going to make it 4 and 4 because the new man to the wicket is Scott Edwards, and he just drives that one away for a single. But what a moment we've just seen. I believe he's the first man ever to take a hat-trick from his first 3 deliveries in a match as well. So records are falling here in Muscat, and what a moment that is for Cower Ali.
And in the first man in Oman's cricket history, you got this hat-trick in international match.
And indeed, he's the first actually ever from an associate nation, because Rashid Khan has done it for Afghanistan, but he did it earlier this year after Afghanistan became a test nation in that series up in Dehradun. But a little slice of history for the leg spinner. And he's causing all sorts of problems as Seelar drives him into the deep. What an outstanding over. Cower Ali has 3 wickets for 2 runs, and all of a sudden the hosts, Oman, are right on top.
73 for 5. At one stage, things were going very well for Netherlands, but the introduction of Khawar Ali has made breaks for them. A splendid over from him. Got a hat-trick on a very first over. That is also a record for Oman. Any bowler in the first over never has taken a hat-trick. Congratulations to him and the team Oman for the wonderful achievement.
Yeah, and with that, Zishan Maksud is deciding, well, hold on, spin might be the way to go. 3 lads have just fallen to it. Time to get myself on. So we're going to see the left arm orthodox of Zishan Maksud come into the attack from the Al Amerat end.
Zishan is a very, very fine all-rounder, skipper of national team. He's a very, very responsible batsman, a very, very good left-arm spinner and outstanding fielder. He was the one who took that spectacular catch in the World Cup T20 2016 against Ireland itself.
Yeah, and good to see he's on the attack as well. He's got a slip in place. He realises that if they can find a 6th or 7th wicket, these two would be the last really recognised batsmen. Just Shane Snyder, Fred Klassen, Paul van Meekeren, and who else have we got to come? Shane Snyder and Brandon Glover, of course, as well. So really 4 bowlers left to come for the Dutch. These two are going to have to try and bat through the remainder of this second half of the innings for Netherlands.
Yeah, so I think the bulk of the batsmen they're already in the pavilion. Now the later on batsmen and the bowlers remains in the fray to get a very good score for Netherlands. Lovely bowling from Khawar Ali. Bowled superbly.
Yeah, and he's been well backed up here by his captain. I was talking to the groundsman early this morning. We were on deck at about 7 a.m. local time, and he was just putting his finishing touches to the pitch, and he said he thought it would play very nicely this morning and maybe just a little bit of turn this afternoon. So he's been proved completely right. Big appeal. That's going to be the 6th wicket.
And Oman is now really firing on all the cylinders.
Yeah, Peter Seelar can't quite believe it. It was short and flat. He looked for the cut shot. I think it might have come right off the tail edge of the bat. Let's take a look at the replay. It was flatter and quicker from Maksud. And it has just taken a bit of turn. A little bit of drift on offer as well. Really good catch behind the stumps from Suraj Kumar.
It was always said fiery spell from the fast bowlers, but today the fiery spell from the spinners. It started with Khawar Ali taking 3 wickets in a row, and now the skipper, Zishan Maksud, got another wicket from the pavilion end. And really, Netherlands in trouble. At one time, they were going very good with Maxwell and Stall playing absolute crackers of the innings. But unfortunately, after that, some extraordinary good spin bowling from Khawar Ali brought them down to 75 for 6. And Oman came back strongly, though Netherlands won the toss and elected to bat on the perfect conditions there. Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, going to be Shane Snyder in at number 8, and he's probably in an awful lot earlier than he would have liked. There's still over 9 overs to bat for the Netherlands. They were going so smoothly before the entrance of Khawar Ali. Bowled him. That's absolutely beautiful. I said that number 8, 9, 10 and Jack for the Netherlands weren't renowned for their batting, and Shane Snyder's been cleaned up first ball by Zishan Maksud with an absolute jaffa.
Disaster for Netherlands. It is a procession of the players going one by one. Some outstanding bowling from Khawar Ali and now the skipper Zishan Maksud.
Here's the replay. It's drifted in towards the pads and turned sharply away and taken out middle stump. Using all his local knowledge, Zishan Maksud, and rather remarkably, Fred Klassen's going to be coming to the crease at number 9. And the Dutch have collapsed in a heap here. They've lost 5 wickets for just 5 runs.
Just 2 overs really brought Netherlands on their knees. 5 continued wickets, 3 wickets in a row, and then 2 in the 11th over, which is proceeding on now. 2 wickets to skipper Zishan Maksud. What a comeback from Oman.
Yeah, really remarkable what we've seen over the course of the last 11 deliveries. 5 wickets for just 4 runs, in fact. 5 wickets for 4 runs in 11 deliveries. Extraordinary scenes here. You can understand why the home crowd are going wild.
Well, they have to, because this is something outstanding performance from both the bowlers.
Finds the outside edge. Really good captaincy. Second slip in place. He cuts off the run. 2 wickets in that over for Zishan Maksud, and the Netherlands are 75 for 7 after 11.
Well, you can't believe it, really. It just happened in a matter of 2 hours. And this is what this game of cricket is. It's called great game of uncertainties. And it happens here in 2 overs, 5 wickets fell down. Just addition of, I think, 2 runs, 3 runs maximum. And hat-trick to Hawar Ali, and 2 overs, 5 wicket down. 2 to the skipper, Zishan Maksud, and a hat-trick to Hawar Ali on his first over. Oh, he brought once again right down.
No surprise that Hawar Ali is going to continue after that historic hat-trick. Coming from the first 3 deliveries he bowled today, it's the kind of dream stuff that any bowler would imagine. Good sweep shot from Scott Edwards, gets it behind square on the leg side, so be plenty of time to get back for 2. And Edwards, the last recognised batsman of any type, because this Dutch lower order, well, their bowling is very strong. Snater can bat a little, but Fred Klaassen and Paul van Meekeren and Brandon Glover not renowned for their talents with the bat.
But I think plenty of their batsmen are back home, and now the remaining tail-enders have got a lot of responsibility to at least took the total to a respectable one. It's about 130, 120.
Yeah,
it seems to be difficult at the moment.
Half an appeal from Hawar Ali. Just seen it on the replay here. The googly out of the back of the hand, I think, just skidding on into the pads. Good batting from Edwards. Gets to the pitch of the ball. Looks for 2, but it's straight to long on, so they won't get back for 2. You must be delighted with the performance of this Oman side this week.
Absolutely thrilled, really, absolutely thrilled. The only good thing is their performance is consistent now. I mean, not like that they play one. Consistently they are playing and winning.
He just found a lovely rhythm. Hawar Ali in this beautiful spell of leg spin bowling, punched down the ground that time by Fred Klaassen. Big tall left arm seamer. We'll see him in the second innings having a bowl, but he's got work to do with the bat here. Loopy full toss hit out into the offside, and it's going to be the first boundary off the bowling of Hawar Ali. First poor delivery in his 2 overs so far, and that one's well punished by Scott Edwards.
Yeah, of course, it is a poor delivery, and correctly met it over the wide-ish extra cover for 4. I have seen a significant improvement in the fielding of Oman national team from the last couple of years.
This time and just worked into the leg side. That's good batting from Scott Edwards. He'll keep the strike. He's going to have to play a crucial role here. There's so much time for the Netherlands still to bat. Their run rate isn't too much of an issue. They're going still exactly 7 and over, but they have to battle up to around that 140 mark we saw in the first game this morning. 140 will be competitive.
Yeah, at least some respectable total should be there, 130, 140. And it will not be easy even if they scored 130, 140 for Oman to pass through easily. I mean, it will take lot of patience and, good batting from their batsmen to cover up.
Zishan Maksoud's going to continue with his left arm spin. So this trial by spin will continue for the Dutch. Hasn't been the week that Ryan Campbell would have wanted in preparation for the T20 World Cup qualifiers. Clipped into the leg side. He wants two, and Fred Klaasen's going to turn and go for two. And I think he would have got there, even in spite of the misfield from Amir Kaleem in the deep.
I think the remaining batsmen from Netherlands should keep going like this, 1 and 2 at least, to keep the scoreboard ticking up to a respectable total.
Almost an action replay. This time they won't get back for two because it was too straight. And Bilal Khan is quick off the fence at long on to restrict them for one. But good intent from Scott Edwards. It must be difficult when you lose 4 or 5 wickets.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
in a cluster.
They have to regroup them again with the ongoing couple going for singles and doubles. Yeah, that's the right technique.
Nicely played by Fred Klaasen into the offside. That has to be his role here. He has to just get Edwards onto strike, work the ball around. There's plenty of gaps in the field. Absolutely. With the exception of slip in place, really, not a huge number of men saving the single.
Yeah, you know, when you are on the top at the moment, you know, there's nothing wrong in taking sleep. No, as you said, sleep has been removed now.
We've had a few instances of that today, just as we've said it. It's managed to happen. Big appeal given. He's walked across his stumps. And he's been trapped dead in front. It's a 3rd wicket for Zishan Maksoud. Scott Edwards was just looking to work that into the leg side for 1 or 2. And the last recognised batsman for the Netherlands is gone.
Yes, fiery spin spell from both the spinners, Khawar Ali and Zishan Maksoud.
Here's the replay now on your screen. Sorry, Jamil going on with the arm, and that is absolutely plumb right in front. Hits him in about off stump, probably going on to hit middle. I don't think Edwards can have any complaints there. Yes. And his sparkling cameo ends.
So Andrew is the 4th umpire who confirmed that it was a plumb LBW.
Yeah, I think that's one of those one as soon as it hits the pad.
Yeah, of course. Very well bowled by it. Zishan is bowling extremely well. I mean, he's slow spinners. And both the spinners has done a remarkable job for Oman at one stage. We were all expecting that they are going very well with some brilliant batting by Stoll and Maxwell. But once the introduction of Khawar Ali, who got an hat-trick in the first over, and then Zishan Maksoud got 2 in his first over, and now in the second over he got a wicket.
Yeah, all the 8s on your screen, because after the most remarkable 15 or 20 minutes, the Netherlands have collapsed to 88 for 8. It's down to Paul van Meekeren at number 10 and Fred Klaasen at number 9, with just the sole batsman left to come, Brandon Glover, to try and get through these overs for the Netherlands and get them up to something almost approaching a competitive total. So at the end of 13 overs, another brilliant over from Zishan Maksoud. He's got 3 for 6, and the Dutch, they're 88 for 8.
Now they're struggling, really. Dutch are struggling at the moment against the top-class spin of Khawar Ali and Zishan Maksoud. What a lovely bowling from them. Khawar Ali also bowled extremely well against Ireland and Andrew. He got 3 wickets in almost 2.5 overs. And today also, right from the first go, the first over he got an hat-trick. It's the first international hat-trick by Omani player in T20, as you said. Associate members, first hat-trick by him, right arm over the wicket.
Yeah, let me just read you a few more stats, courtesy of the team at Emerging Cricket on that hat-trick, because Khawar Ali is the first cricketer of any kind to do it with the first 3 deliveries of his spell in T20I cricket. It's the 10th men's T20I hat-trick, and it's the first ever player from an associate background, the first ever male from an associate background to do it, although there's been 4 women's hat-tricks this year as well. So a real moment of history for Khawar Ali. He's bowled bowled beautifully, but Zishan Maksud, his skipper, is backing him up at the far end as well.
Khabar from last couple of years, he's bowling extremely well and becoming the main strike bowler for Oman. Though he's a very good opener, but unfortunately he's not among the runs last couple of series. But in the bowling, he's bowling absolutely brilliant.
You'd have to think he's going to love the conditions across in the UAE over the coming weeks, as Oman look to make it to a second T20 World Cup. Just over pitches this time and hit powerfully down the ground by Paul van Meekeren to get him off the mark with a single, but it was really difficult for the Dutch batsmen now. They still have over 6 overs to bat. Have to somehow try and bat some time before having a late swing. Just 2 wickets in hand.
There's nothing left for them to late swing because the remaining batsmen are all tail-enders. So you cannot expect tail-enders to stay on the wicket.
Yeah, Fred Klaassen just showing that he's a little bit more than a tail-ender with a nice late cut for a couple. But as I said, those 4, one of the weak things about this Dutch side perhaps is their strength of their bowlers is contradicted by they aren't out-and-out all-rounders by any stretch of the imagination. Sneijder quite high at 8. You've got Klaassen, Van Meekeren, Glover. They're really all out-and-out bowlers. So that hat-trick was so crucial for Oman and ripping out the Dutch middle order.
And that is on the right time. I mean, right in the right time when both of them were going well, Maxwell and Stall. And suddenly the brakes are put on by Khabar Ali. And these 3 wickets definitely give edge to Oman. And then followed by some brilliant bowling of Zishan Maksud, who got...
Yeah, let's take a look at the batting card, because if you're just joining us for the first time today, Khabar Ali is a hat-trick. And he did it with his first 3 deliveries of his spell, but he's been backed up brilliantly by Zishan Maksud, the captain. It's ripped the heart out of this Dutch innings and left them in all sorts of bother. Just 93 for 8, deciding against coming back for the second there.
Yes, I think the remaining batsman has to play 20 overs, I believe. If they play full 20 overs, they might get 120, 130, which will be a respectable total to defend.
Edged and taken yet another wicket for Zishan Maksud. Khabar Ali may have a hat-trick, but Maksud's got 4 for.
Yeah, another brilliant delivery. Spinning away and a brilliant catch in the slip.
Yeah, here's the replay in now, and Zishan Maksud just varying his pace so nicely and finding the edge. A really sharp catch taken at first slip.
I think it's Aqib Ilyas.
Yeah, I think Aqib Ilyas, you're right, has taken that catch at first slip. A really sharp one. He had to move quickly to his left to cling on.
Yeah, he's the youngest player in the Oman team. Brilliant batsman. He's very, very aggressive attacking batsman.
Yeah, the vice captain Aqib Ilyas takes the catch off the captain Zishan Maksud, and this Dutch collapse continues.
93 for 9.
Just going to bring you the bowling figures quickly, because this Dutch innings could be over at any second. And it's all happened thanks to 2 spinners. Khabar Ali's got 3 for 15. Zishan Maksud is 4 for 7. And as you can see, the Netherlands were 71 for 2. They have lost 7 wickets for 22 runs in a quite remarkable collapse. It's been sparked by these 2 spinners.
Absolutely.
The final man to the crease for the Netherlands. We'll see him bowling, perhaps bowling sooner rather than later, is Glover, who bowled with such fire and pace. With that run-up like Dale Steyn that we spoke about during the Tri-Series in Dublin. But this has been outstanding cricket from Oman, using all their experience. You spoke about how they'll be one of the oldest sides in the qualifiers, but perhaps turning what could be a weakness into their strength.
Yes. We always thought that Netherlands is always a very, very strong side, but today it's totally, unfamiliar of their standards in international T20 cricket.
Beautifully bowled again. There is significant turn. It's just enough as well to get past the outside edge. And that completes another outstanding over from Zishan Maqsood. He's bowled 3 overs. He's got 4 for 7. And he's only a part-time spinner, perhaps.
No, he's a regular spinner, but it is really amazing figures for him. I mean, it's a dream figure for any bowler. 3 overs, 4 wickets and 7 runs. Amazing.
Yeah, super stuff from Zishan Maqsood, really showing his side the way, the captain. We've got Jamil Zaidi in the commentary box to my right here, and the former Oman team manager. I'm finding it difficult to get that smile off your face at the moment.
Yeah, of course, it is a reason to smile. I mean, it was such a brilliant performance by our spinners. And everybody must be smiling today. But they should come back strongly in the batting as well, unless the match is over.
They are career best figures for Zishan Maqsood that you're seeing on the bottom of your screen there. He's bowled 3 overs, 4 for 7. Before today, the best he'd ever had was a 3-fer. And it's left to the Dutch number 10 and 11 to try and claw this innings up to 100. Moments ago, they were 71 for 2 and in cruise control, but how fickle a game T20 cricket is. And that's going to end the innings with the most brilliant googly. Goes straight through the defence of Brandon Glover, takes off the leg bail. And what we've seen over the course of the last 5 overs is one of the great partnership spells of T20 bowling. 8 wickets between them. I'm going to show you the replay here. He's done them all ends up with the googly. It wasn't picked, and it's gone on to hit leg stump. And the last wicket is gone for the Netherlands. They've lost 8 wickets for 23 runs in one of the most remarkable spells of T20 cricket I've ever seen.
Yes, it is a dream bowling from both these spinners for Oman. And really, I have not seen, I've been the manager for 7 years, never ever seen such a class bowling from the spinners for Oman. 8 wickets in a span of 5 overs. 3 to Khawar Ali, 4 to Khawar Ali, and 4 to Zishan Maqsood. What a performance from this Oman national team. They are achieving landmarks day by day for Oman. What a performance.
That's the batting card. The Netherlands have been routed here for 94 all out after Max O'Dowd's top scorer 24, 19 for Tony Style, 15 for Colin Ackerman. With the exception of 13 for Scott Edwards, the rest of the card reads 2-0, 0-5, 3-0. So superb stuff from the Omani bowlers. The home bowlers, they got it right. And the two who got it so right after the initial breakthroughs from Mohammad Nadeem and Amir Kaleem were Khawar Ali and Zishan Maqsood. Between the pair of them in 6.3 overs, they've got 8 for 23. A day to remember for all Oman fans.
Absolutely, yes. The disaster for Netherlands started from the outstanding bowling from Mohammad Nadeem, who bowled superbly in his 2 overs, and then later on Khawar Ali and Zishan Maqsood finish off the entire Netherlands batting. Khawar Ali exceptionally well, getting first hat-trick for Oman in international T20 or ODI, whatever it is. It's first achievement from him. And then Zishan Maqsood with the slow left-arm spinners got 4 wickets. What an amazing figures he has got. 3 overs, 4 wickets of 7 runs. It is just a dream which has come true for Oman, especially for Zishan and Khawar Ali. And now I think 95 is the target. I hope they will achieve this target without any problem and without any difficulty.
Yeah, that's the match summary on your screen there. The Netherlands have been bowled all out for 94. And that's all thanks to the hat-trick from Khawar Ali that started the rout, and he was so well backed up by his captain Zishan Maqsood, who ends up with a career best 4 for 7. And in fact, it's a career best as well for Caorali. So to go alongside the hat-trick, 2 career bests from those 2 spinners. 8 for 23 they took in 33 balls of absolute carnage here at the Amerat cricket ground just outside Muscat. We're going to be back with you at the chase to see if Oman can go top of the table in about 10 minutes' time. Welcome back here to the Al Amerat cricket ground. It's Oman Cricket Turf 1 at the Oman Cricket Academy. And that's the points table on your screen there. Oman are looking to take a third win from 3 games and move above Ireland on net run rate in the table in this Pentangular series. If you're just joining us for the first time today, you've missed absolute chaos and carnage in the Dutch batting lineup. In 33 deliveries, they lost 8 wickets to the leg spin of Kawar Ali and the left arm spin of Zishan Maqsood to be bowled all out for just 94. And no surprise, really, the Netherlands are going to start with spin themselves. In Roelof van der Merwe with his left arm orthodox. Andrew Leonard is here. That's me, and I'm bringing you these pictures with Cricket Clubs Live alongside the good people at Oman Cricket. We're here at their home, of course. And I'm joined by someone who knows them very well, Jamil Zaidi, former Oman team manager. Jamil, try and describe to me what just happened in the first innings.
Well, I think it's difficult to describe in the words the way the thing's going. I don't know. Netherlands going very well with Maxwell and Stoll playing as long as they are. Once they got out from 71 for 2. And then there is a disaster in 94 all out. Some unexpected, brilliant spin bowling from Kawar Ali, who got hat-trick in his first over. And then Zishan Maqsood wrapping up the remaining innings, pair wickets of Netherlands. Amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, those 8 wickets falling all in a couple of overs. The first signs of aggression of the innings. And that gives great delight to the home crowd. Kawar Ali himself opening the batting as if taking a hat-trick and 4 wickets isn't good enough for him.
Yeah.
Just added 4 runs to the total.
Yes. We want to see some good batting from him because he's not getting good runs as an opener from last couple of matches. But today he might have chance as he's got 4 wickets, got an hat-trick. He has got a Lions heart in him now. He might go for good.
Yeah, and he's facing up to the Somerset all-rounder, the left arm orthodox spinner that is Roelof van der Merwe. Van der Merwe nearly orchestrated an extraordinary collapse of his own to try and get Somerset to pull off the county championship victory in the most unlikely of circumstances, but they had to settle for second as his Dutch teammate Ryan ten Shade took the title, the Essex captain. So 4 runs from that first over, but crucially for Oman, no wickets. And you'd have to think if they can bat through their overs here, they'll be going clear at the top of the table.
Yeah, of course. It looks like they might do that with this brilliant bowling performance from Kawar and skipper Zishan Maqsood himself. Andrew, I really don't know what happened to Van der Merwe. He's one of the best all-rounders in the world. But unfortunately, he's not coming up as far as the Netherlands team is concerned, not scoring runs. He took a couple of wickets, but not, to his name, he's got international cricket. And unfortunately, they do have this Ben Cooper, one of the best batsmen they have. He's out of the team because of some injury. Yeah, very unfortunate.
Injured himself at the start of the week, Ben Cooper. Hopefully he will be back for the T20 World Cup qualifiers. But we're going to see left arm seam from the Al Amerat end. We'll see the big Kent fast bowler, Frederick Klassen, who was very impressive, particularly towards the death in the Tri-Series in Dublin. He did have a few problems with his back foot getting too close to the return crease, a few no balls. But worked comfortably off the hip of Aki Bilias, who's opening the batting here alongside Kawar Ali. Oman just seem to go from strength to strength at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. As I told you earlier, that right from Division 5, we have got the ODI status, and from last 3 outings, we are coming winners on the top of the league. WSL 4, 3, 2, and then got that ODI status.
Heaved into the sky. Could this be the first wicket? Because it's going to go straight to third man, who drops the catch, much to the delight of the large Omani home crowd behind him. And Tony Stahl really should have taken that. It skewed off the outside edge to Kawar Ali. Here's the replay. He was looking to hammer it down the ground, but the third man made good ground in towards the ball. Should have taken the catch, but it burst through his hands. With a score of just 90 odd on the board, you can't afford to be doing that.
Well, each and every wicket is very important for the Netherlands, and this is especially. And a player like Stoll, who is a very good batsman and a good feeder as well, he dropped that catch. I think it's almost had the ball in his hand and then slipped out. It looks to me from here.
Yeah, should have held on to that. And Klaassen, as most fast bowlers tend to be after they've had a catch dropped off their bowling, not a happy man. He digs in the short ball, but it was too short to Aqib Ilyas, so signalled wide. No run there. The two standing umpires for this second game this afternoon, that's Rahul Asher and Hari Krishna. And Vinud Babu will be doing the third umpire. And of course, we actually saw those third umpires being forced in the first game to make quite a few decisions. A couple of stumpings and a couple of runouts being checked by the third umpire.
They do have to do some work now. At least it has been given to them.
Great technological advance to be able to use that third umpire facility here. And that one's clipped into the leg side and it beats Paul van Meekeren, who's in the circle at fine leg, but he'll cut off the boundary. No real timing from Aqib Ilyas. The Oman side is more proficient, do you feel, in the T20 format or the ODI format?
Well, if you see from last 2 or 3 international tournaments, I think we are playing absolutely fantastic in ODIs as well, apart from T20. If you see the performance from last 3 outing that we have.
Hit into the air, runs back Scott Edwards, who puts it down. A second drop in the over. Scott Edwards, who often keeps wicket for the Netherlands, but he doesn't have the gloves today because Tobias Visay has. Let's take a look at the replay. It was Aqib Ilyas this time who didn't pick the slower ball at all from Fred Klaassen. He had a lot of ground to make, Scott Edwards. He made it well. And you can see the impact there on the ground. He got both hands to it. That should have been taken as well.
Buttery fingers looks like that, both of them. Slipping out. But a good catch, easy one.
Yeah, what an over from Fred Klaassen. It's going to say he's got none for 6, but he had 2 drop catches from 2 different batsmen in that over. He should have had 2 wickets, but Oman lived to breathe another day. Both openers there, 10 for none after 2.
Hard luck to Fredericks. He bowled extremely well. First catch was a bit difficult for Stoll, but the other one that Scott has dropped was more easier than the 2. And I think they have to grab those opportunities. That's the thing that would bring them back into the game. If these catches would have been held, then more pressure on Oman, though the total is not that much good. They have some problems. But 2 wickets in 2 overs will definitely put a lot of pressure on Oman. But unfortunately, both the chances have been dropped by Stoll and Scott. Murph continued to bowl from the scorer's end.
Yeah, Van der Merwe, the Somerset left-arm spinner, will be looking for wickets here. But it was 2 drop catches off Fred Klaassen, 2 of the Dutch county players. A good tension out there. I know the Netherlands haven't found a wicket yet, even though they're defending a low score. You said Oman have had some problems with chasing.
Yes, it is. No doubt about it. It's anything about 140. But they do come, but it's difficult for them to chase.
And you've got to love Roelof van der Merwe. He's an all-action cricketer. Whether he's batting, bowling or fielding, he's constantly up and about. Great body language, good positive energy for his teammates. Just need to find a breakthrough here. You can see at the bottom of your screen there that required run rate just less than 5 and over. Shorter this time, cut away, but can't pierce the infield. Oman's batters like to go hard in this initial power play, but they'll probably change their tactics today.
No, Khawar Ali and Aqib Ilyas bowled down. Both of them are attacking players, and they always go for the runs. Independent.
Really good intensity from the Dutch. I just wonder, did they get a little bit of a spray, a bit of a dressing down from their head coach Ryan Campbell after that batting effort? If you're just joining us, remember that they lost 8 wickets in 33 deliveries for just 23 runs. It was a collapse really of epic proportions, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think Netherlands will never go again. I hope that the way they have got out today, it was just crumbling like anything, one after another. And I have something, because like Ireland and Netherlands, they do have some internationally acclaimed players in them. And except for the Kevin O'Brien and Paul Sterling, they batted extremely well. And only Cooper from Netherlands have come up with some brilliant batting. Mark Waugh and others, I think they're not coming up as per the expectation of their team.
Yeah, Max O'Dowd's been in the runs, but that's the Omani card on your screen. You see lots of batting options throughout the card. We'll see Zishan Maqsood later on. Who else should we be looking out for here in this Oman batting 11?
Khurram Nawaz is there also, one of the best batsmen. We have Mehran is a hard hitter. And then we do have Sayyid Amir Kaleem is also a very talented batsman.
We'll see a change in bowling because after Fred Klassen's misfortune in his first over with the 2 drop catches, they're going to go to the Somerset speedster that is Paul van Meekeren, playing in a few of the T20 franchise leagues around the world in recent times as well, having had gigs in the GT20 in Canada and the Everest Premier League in Nepal. But he's going to need to try and make the breakthrough for the Netherlands here. Good pace Van Meekeren always generates.
Well, he's a very good bowler. I think I've seen him bowling in all the matches. He's trying his best to get something out of this wicket, and got some wicket as well. But he's more accurate than any other bowler I've seen in the Netherlands side, with good pace as well.
Slower ball that time from Van Meekeren. Hit straight to Fred Klassen, and there's a little bit of anger in that throw from Klassen after his bowling had 2 drop catches come off it. But they get through for a single. So Kawar Ali, remember, he's just coming off a career best 4-wicket haul in T20 international cricket and a hat-trick. I think we're going to have to clip up that bit of video and maybe show it out to cricket fans across the world later on.
He will keep this clip forever for his life, because it's something very rarely happen in international cricket, and once you have got that chance to get some records.
Brilliant bowling from Paul van Meekeren, but so unlucky it comes off the inside edge, just as it looked destined to clean up Aki Bilias. Really good pace. Fortune for the Omani opener.
Aki is the youngest player Omani team has got, about 24, 25 years of age. Very, very aggressive batsman he is, and played some gem of innings for Oman in the last ODIs in Scotland and of course in Namibia for the Division 2.
No ball called by a standing umpire, so we're going to see a free hit, and that's exactly what the Netherlands can't afford right now. This Dutch side is rocking. It was full into the block hole, worked away for a single, but it will be a free hit. Much to the delight of the home crowd. You can hear their cheers in the background. Not what you want if you're the Dutch captain, Peter Seeler.
Yeah. This is the second no ball being bowled in this 4 or 5 days tournament. This is 2 second free hit.
Hit into the leg side. It goes over the head of Peter Seeler, who's such a good fielder. He will cut off the boundary with some athletic work. He was right on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Because the batsman had crossed, he could reset his field. And the free hit will result in 2 runs. But the Dutch just can't afford that with such a low total on the board.
Yeah, of course. Just each and every ball and each run is very important to them. As much runs they will save, it will more put pressure on Oman. Though the total is not that much big, it's just 94 runs.
Yeah, he's definitely causing problems with his pace.
Yes.
Would he be maybe one of the fastest bowlers you've seen on show this week?
One of them, you can say. One of them. Bilal is also almost of the same speed we have.
Change of pace again from Van Meekeren. Bowled into the pitch. And he's going to get out of that over with 6 runs coming from it alongside the 2-leg boys. So 8 to the total. Oman's openers are surviving at the moment. 19 for none. In fact, there's still a delivery to go. I just wonder, is that a 7-ball over that we're seeing here?
That free hit.
Yeah, we have that one in there. Our scorers make that as over. I just wonder, are we seeing an 8th delivery in this over, a 7th legal delivery? And it's going to be a wide, so we're going to see yet another delivery in this over. Things just not going the Netherlands' way at the moment.
Yeah, I think these drop catches, one on the other side is really the scorers, and the other second at the pavilion end was, of course, a very, very costly one that's been dropped. But things looks good for Oman at the moment. 20 they have got in just 4 overs. 5th over is on the way.
Yeah, just checking back on the scorecard there with Crick Info and indeed us here at Crick Clubs, it was definitely a 7-ball over, so perhaps the no ball just causing a bit of confusion between the 2 standing umpires, the 2 local umpires here today. It's Vinod Babu and, Rahul Asher and Hari Krishna. Vinod Babu, the 3rd umpire at the moment. And misfortune for the Netherlands because that extra delivery is being bowled as a wide, and Van Meekeren will finally get out of his over. With 7 runs against him, 9 runs to the total. Oman 20 for none after 4 and really in cruise control at the moment.
Yeah, so far they are going quite well, and I think there is some misunderstanding among the number of balls being bowled, and both the umpires looks to be satisfied with the 7 runs an hour.
Well, it's the last thing that Oman really need. They're only chasing about 4.5 and over. You can see the required run rate at the bottom of your screen there. And Paul Van Meekeren, he jogs down to in front of our commentary position there. Disappointed with his opening over, and we're going to see another change in bowling because a man who made such an impression in that T20 tri-series in Dublin, Brandon Glover, is going to come into the attack. He's another man who bowls with real pace. A run-up. In fact, it's not going to be Brandon Glover. We're going to have to wait to see Brandon Glover. It's going to be Fred Klassen. Brandon Glover was up that way as well. Change of ends for Fred Klassen.
Yes, Brandon has bowled extremely well from last couple of matches. He's always among the wicket takers, and always he's, I think, not giving too much runs during his bowling. He's trying to bowl wicket to wicket and up to the batsman to play.
Yeah, tends to bowl very full, Glover. Bowling at a really good pace, but there are 3 quick bowlers of real note. Fred Klassen, Paul Van Meekeren and Brandon Glover. And bear in mind, you've got Tim van der Hoogten to come into the side as well. The Glamorgan all-rounder. What a shot that is. Gets down on one knee and dispatches it miles over the rope, much to the delight of the home crowd. It soars into the sky for 6, probably the biggest 6 of the day.
Yes, of course. As I told you, this young boy, Aqib Ilyas, is a very, very aggressive player, and you can see the beautiful sweep he did it. It just really the longest 6 of the day. Lovely shot from him. Once he's get going, it's difficult for him to stop. All over, I think this Pentangular tournament will definitely useful for the teams who are vying for the qualifier in Dubai. Definitely they will be having a lot of experience under the conditions in prevailing in both parts of this world, UAE and Oman, almost similar.
Fred Klassen comes around the wicket, but he's dispatched to the other side of the ground. This time it's going to be a 1-bounce 4. The delivery before, he was slog swept all the way for 6. This time right up on his tippy toes. It's Aqib Ilyas, who almost like an uppercut over the offside, 1-bounce 4.
He is hungry to play his shots, Aqib Ilyas Andrew, and he never misses any opportunity whenever he got to play his favorite shots.
Dug in by Fred Klassen into the pitch. Going to be off the toe end of the bat for a single. Just how costly were those 2 drop chances off Fred Klassen's opening over?
Definitely, yes. the impact is very, very bad in the part of Netherlands, you know. And if they would have those catches, definitely things would be slightly different, though. As I told you, the total is not that much huge to chase. But, of course, 2 wickets down in 2 overs will definitely put pressure for the remaining Omani batsmen to come.
Yeah, changing the field. Paul van Meekeren's going to come up into the circle with long on and deep square leg. The 2 men outside the circle will go to that man at deep square leg. Carrali fancies coming back for 2, and he will get there. A better throw right over the top might have made it close, but the throw was wide to the left of Tobias Visay, the Dutch keeper, and really everything going Oman's way at the moment.
Khawa runs for his life in the second over. He was just struggling in the middle, but finally made it home.
It's better from Fred Klassen, squaring up Carrali, who's solid in defence. So 13 runs coming from that over, an expensive one. And Oman well ahead of the rate now. They're 33 for none after 5. I just wonder if the Netherlands perhaps getting their tactics a little bit wrong. They do have other spinners to come in and bowl. Colin Ackerman with his off breaks. We don't have Philippe Boissevin, the young leg spinner, in the side today, but might see Maxwell O'Dowd bowl some spin, and of course Peter Seelar bowls left arm spin as well. But he's going to continue with pace for the moment, Peter Seelar. He's going to bring Brandon Glover into the attack for the first time. It's a mammoth task on now for the Dutch bowlers.
Andrew, I think you will share with me, now international cricket, you know, any team who got out cheaply, mostly they used to start with the spinners from both ends. Because with the new ball doesn't turn and it gets off the wicket, difficult batsman to hit.
Yeah, there's that extra pace immediately of Brandon Glover, thuds into the pad of Aki Bilias, just beaten for pace a little bit. He's so reminiscent of Dale Steyn, this Brandon Glover, isn't it? The whole way in his run up and his gather, and then even the wrist position right at the top of the delivery.
Yeah.
Real shades of the great South African fast bowler, Dale Steyn.
He was terror for the batsman, Dan Steyn. Absolutely one of the best ever fast bowlers, with accuracy and speed.
Pace again, hitting the bat hard, hitting right up towards the V of the bat. I suppose Oman will be thinking, as long as we can survive this spell from Glover, it doesn't matter if we're scoring runs or not.
No, I think there are a lot of number of overs remaining and a lot of batting to come from Oman. I think they have to take their chance, play coolly and get through the total.
You remember, this is a Dutch side who are one of the pre-tournament favourites for the T20 World Cup qualifier that starts in just over a week's time in the UAE. Hit into the offside, almost half a chance for Olaf van der Merwe. Aki Bilias doesn't want to just survive, he's happy to throw his hands through the ball, and he's going to get a boundary 4 on the offside.
Smashed through the cover boundary by Aki Bilias. He's a lanky player, but such a power in his shots that difficult the fielders to try to get him on it.
Just a nice little crowd you saw on your replay shot there is built up underneath the trees at all the benches right the way around the ground here. Slower ball that time from Glover. Just the change of pace, well kept out. Fantastic facilities we have here at the Oman Cricket Academy. 2 ovals, indoor nets, something like 10 or a dozen outdoor playing practice turf wickets as well. This is the real home and hub of Omani cricket.
Yes, of course. All credit goes to the Oman Cricket Board for providing such international class facilities to Omani players and of course the international cricketers. You have seen the indoor stadium, it's absolutely fantastic, like you have ICC.
Short ball from Glover is picked up really well by Aki Bilias, and that's pulled into the deep. It's going to be another boundary 4. Oman are making this chase start to look very simple indeed. They move to 41 inside the power play, nearly halfway to that Dutch total already.
Yeah, and Aki Bilias is just really looking at his best at the moment right now to me.
You can see Peter Seelar there in the ring at mid-wicket. He's just trying to get his team going. They were really G'd up at first when Roelof van der Merwe was opening the bowling with his spin. But another short ball, really unconventional hook shot. Max O'Dowd with the throw from the deep, but he'll get through for the single. That's going to end the power play. Oman right on top there, 42 for none.
42 for none. Just for the knowledge of the viewers who are watching this live streaming from Cricket Club from Oman Cricket Academy, these two grounds were built on totally mountainous, muddy area. It was a place where most of the rainwater comes. So all through things have been taken over. If you go and see the Oman cricket site, you will see the pictures of those grounds before this lovely, beautiful grounds are put it on by the Oman cricket.
Yeah, the reason I've brought that worm up on the screen there, the run worm, is that remarkably, Oman and the Netherlands at almost the exact same point at the end of the power play. The Dutch making 42 for 2 from there, 6 overs. But Oman with 0 wickets down, 42 for none. And after the collapse sparked by the spinners, no surprise to see Peter Seelar bring himself into the attack in what's been really helpful conditions this afternoon for the spinners. Not a huge amount of turn, but just enough.
Yeah, of course. I told you nowadays, working days are ahead. And people are coming after 4 o'clock. Office timings up to 8 to 5. If you would have been here on Saturday and Sunday, it was too much crowd here. But hopefully tomorrow evening, I hope there will be a lot of crowd, both for Nepal as well as Oman also, because Nepal fans are always following their team. I remember we were in Bermuda, Andrew, and there they too have so many people to come and watch the matches.
Yeah, they always come out of the woodwork and support their team right away.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah.
Around the world, and we had plenty of Nepal fans in this morning for their narrow defeat to Ireland. We thought we were standing on the brink of history at one point as Nepal looked in control of their chase. They just needed 7 and over from the last 10 overs with 8 wickets in hand, but it was really George Dockrell who pulled it out of the fire for Ireland with his 3-wicket haul.
Yeah, it was a brilliant bowling from Dockrell. Yeah, brilliant bowling from Dockrell that kept Ireland up in this match against Nepal.
So they're approaching the halfway point in terms of the runs required from this chase already. Looks for the reverse sweep, big appeal. Only interest from Peter Seelar, nothing from behind the stumps from Tobias Visay. Take a look at the replay, perhaps some bat involved.
Yeah, seems to be. Because it's a half-hearted appeal from the bowlers as well.
Yeah, it did look pretty adjacent. Scott Edwards makes half a stop, allowing them to get through for the single. Paul van Meekeren will mop up. So the end of a good tight over from Peter Seelar, just 4 singles from it, but still no wickets for the Netherlands.
They're desperately looking for a wicket to start at least some consolation for them to get through this game. So far, unfortunate not to have those 2 chances that was dropped in the early part of the game.
Yeah, those 2 drop chances coming in the second over of the match. Roelof van der Merwe opened up, but then Fred Klassen came from this, the Amerat end, and he created 2 chances. The first one put down by Tony Stahl, and the second one put down by Scott Edwards. Defending such a low total with just 94 on the board, you cannot afford to be putting down catches. So Peter Seelar is going to go back to his main man, Roelof van der Merwe. Bowled 2 tight overs at the top of the innings, but he's going to have a change of ends. To this, the Al Amerat end, but these preparations for the Netherlands, they're not going the way that they would have wanted. Ben Cooper having an injury. No signs yet of Ryan Tendashade after his efforts with Essex during the season. We'll probably see him next week in Dubai.
I think, yeah.
But not the preps that the Dutch would have wanted.
Yeah, unfortunate. They are very unfortunate that they lose the services of Ben Cooper, one of the best batsmen. And in the very first match, he scored 65 brilliant runs. He was just standing and playing his shots. Very unfortunate that he got injured and it's not part of a Netherlands team. But I think they have rightly decided to give him rest because the more important tournament is ahead in the next week. so that he can recover whatever he has got, and then Netherlands go back with full strength in the qualifier in Dubai.
Yeah, so we have 2 games tomorrow, of course, remember as well, which will round out this Oman Pentangular series. In the morning, we'll have the Netherlands have to try and turn around their form. It looks like they're going to go to 0-3. They'll be taking on Hong Kong, who are also winless, so the battle to avoid the wooden spoon there could be tomorrow morning before the one that will decide the winners. And Oman really in pole position. They'll be taking on Nepal.
Yeah, of course. As of now, seems they will be topping the points table with 4 wins, 3 wins in a row. And tomorrow will be the last one. Lovely fielding.
Yeah, really good from Peter Seelar. He's outstanding in the field. And this is a Dutch side that prides himself in their fielding. So they'll be so disappointed with their efforts so far. 2 drop catches going down in the second over. Peter Seelar keeping the standards high there at extra cover. Looks for the reverse sweep. Nearly outstanding from first slip. Colin Ackerman tried to anticipate that, and he nearly did anticipate it brilliantly. Flying away to his right like a goalkeeper, but he couldn't get a hand on it. And the end result for the reverse sweep from Karali will be 4 runs.
Yeah, you know, when sometimes things are not in your favor, everything goes against you. So this is what is happening. Our reverse sweep, top of the head of the slip fielder, got him 4 runs.
Good use of the feet this time from Karali, showing off all his skills. Fred Klassen, the gun arm from the deep. But that reverse sweep brought up the Oman 50. It's looking like a cakewalk. I've got the former Oman cricket team manager Jamil Zaidi to my right. Jamil, could you have anticipated your side performing so well this week?
As I said to you earlier, that from a couple of last tournaments, our team is doing extremely well in all departments of the game. So I was also expecting that they should come up with the flying colours of being the top of this point table. And so far they have done extremely well in all departments of the game. I am more happy the way they played against Ireland. It was totally outclassed performance from them. At one stage, 72 for 1, Ireland. And finally they got off to 130. Some beautiful bowling from Mohammad Nadeem, Khawar Ali and Amir Kaleem, and later on with Bilal Khan taking 2 wickets. It was an outstanding performance.
Yeah, we're going to see a change in bowling because the record taking Colin Ackerman, who has the best figures in T20 cricket history, would you believe? He took 7 for 18 for Leicestershire against the Birmingham Bears earlier this summer in the Friends Provident, or the Vitality as it is, Vitality T20 Blast. Now, he's going to need to take something along the lines of 7 for 18 to give Netherlands a chance.
Dream one, huh? 7 for 18 for any bowler. It is something which is unachievable in the circumstances.
Yeah, watch the highlights back of that 7 for 18. But
I'll go and see today, yeah.
And he does get good turn on the ball. Ball's flat off breaks, but does generate turn. A lot of them were caught in the ring and in the deep, but he's going to need a miracle here because Oman need just 39 more to win. Powered down the ground.
Lovely shot.
Glorious shot. It's going to sail all the way into that vacant benches for 6. All the crowd over there are taking the shelter from the sun. If they were on the benches, they could have been in for a crowd catch. 6 more to the total. And Aki Bilias starting to show why he's the dominant opening partner for Oman.
He is a classy player, as I said to you earlier. And he never stops himself playing his favourite shots. Wherever he got chance, he's going to play his shots. A very, very young, upcoming cricketer for Oman, and has done wonders for Oman so far. In all the matches, international matches, ODIs, he has played superb.
Yeah, so that ends Colin Ackerman's first over. 10 runs coming from it. As we just get the graphics to catch up at the bottom of the screen. 63 for none after 9 overs. Oman well on course for what would be one of their most comprehensive international victories of all time.
Yes. Andrew, I want to ask you one thing. What do you think about the qualifier in Dubai? 14 teams are there. Whom you believe that 4 or 5 top teams will come up? Because it's a fierce competition.
Yeah, fierce competition. 6 sides will qualify over the coming weeks in the UAE. The brilliant facilities and grounds there in Abu Dhabi and Dubai that will be used. I do think Scotland will probably be the favourites for the entire tournament. They've been really dominant in recent years at the associate level. But this new young side that Ireland have, and with the form that Oman have, I think they'd be the 3 that would be locked in for qualifying. It would be a big surprise if any of Oman, Netherlands or Scotland, Oman, Ireland or Scotland missed out. Netherlands are going to have to get through this little difficult patch they're in, but you'd have to expect them to probably take a qualification place. Remember, it was Scotland and the Netherlands that shared the title 4 years ago. And then we're going to have a dogfight for the other spots. The likes of the UAE, the hosts, always a good bet in home internationals, in home conditions. They're very good. They know their conditions well with good batting, good bowling, good spin options. But don't rule out the likes of Namibia, Canada as well. Their side I could see going far. And who knows, are we going to see a big story for the likes of somebody like the tournament debutants, Nigeria? They just beat Kenya last week in one of their warm-up games. As that one's hammered down towards Fred Klassen, who takes an absolutely outstanding catch. We've seen some really good catches today, and probably not many better than that one. He had to run 20 to 30 yards around to his left. And just as we thought Kerr Ali was going to take yet another boundary for Oman, Fred Klassen plucks that one out of the sky and gives a well-deserved wicket to the Dutch skipper, Peter Seeler. Brilliant catch.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 20 yards running towards his left and then kept himself inside the boundary line, took a brilliant catch.
The thing that excites me about the qualifier next month...
Well, I'm really not very much sure because to me, most of the teams, I feel that are on the same level, you know. Whoever clicks in those matches, that will go through. This is what I believe.
Yeah, but the format of the tournament, it just lends itself to such exciting cricket. I think we saw that 2015 was a real zenith, or a new zenith for associate cricket, with the, as it was then, the ICC World T20 qualifier with 6 teams getting through Ireland and Scotland, and those games being broadcast all over the world so brilliantly by the ICC. But what we're going to see now in 2019 is a completely different ball game. The T20 format itself has moved on so much. Associate cricket has moved on itself. We've got Test Nations for the first time in that qualifier in the form of Ireland. Of course, Zimbabwe won't be there due to their suspension from the ICC, but Afghanistan have already qualified due to the rankings through to the T20 World Cup. But Ireland are by no means guaranteed to qualify, even though they're the sole Test nation there. But the format's a brilliant one. 2 groups of 7. The winner of the group progresses automatically and directly to the T20 World Cup down in Australia. But then it's into the nervous playoff. Second play third for a direct spot into the qualifier, or if you're fourth, you have to win a 5th place playoff semi-final before going up to have a one-off shot, which is exactly what Oman did
last time we did
in 2015. And when they went to beat Namibia, we saw sparked those jubilant scenes of celebration.
It was really what you call the moments of life when we have that match against Namibia.
Sure, you were one of the ones running on the pitch, Jamil, were you?
Yes. Me and my chief demission, Madhu Bhai, we just ran like mad onto the ground.
Yeah, you could see how much it meant to Oman in 2015, and it will possibly mean even more for them this time. They'd go to Australia with a real chance at causing some upsets down there. It's an experienced side, one that's made real waves in the upper echelons of the associate game in recent years. And you can see why with all of the things they're doing so brilliantly here on the ground in Oman. But good tight stuff that from Seeler. The first wicket of the over. And 2 runs coming from it. The new man to the crease. That's Amir Kaleem. He's in at number 3.
He was the top wicket taker for us in the earlier 2015 qualifier in Scotland and Ireland. He was totally unplayable. And one of our another left-arm spinner, Ajay Lalcheta, he was also brilliant. During that tournament, most of the spinners plus our main strike bowler, Muscat, he was slinging action like Malinga.
Yeah, I remember him vividly and pumping up the air with great celebrations as well. Both those players retired now, or?
Yeah, not retired. They're playing cricket, but not, fitness level and performance in the domestic season. It's not that much good that they will be taken back into the game. Only Amir Kaleem has bring back into the team after a gap of about a year or so.
Yeah, it really is an experienced side. A lot of birthdays in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Just 4 of the players in the squad, in fact, born in the 1990s, and no one born in the 2000s. It's almost the opposite to the Nepal side that they'll face up against tomorrow. Yeah. Youth versus experience. Yes. What's going to be the big clash at 2 o'clock at the same ground.
Yes.
Good to see Peter Seelar attacking. He's got a slip in place, which is himself, as Ackerman's going to come around the wicket to the left-hander.
Most of our recent record against Nepal is quite good. We normally beat Nepal in the last couple of outings that we have. So I hope that tomorrow also, if the performance of all those boys will be similar like today.
It's pulled into the deep. It's gone wide of Max O'Dowd, who makes a really good stop. He's going to keep it to just a single. He releases the throw immediately to Tony Stahl, who supports him there at mid-wicket. So good work by the Dutch in the field, keeping that to just a single. And of course, the growth and the rise of Oman is the reason that Nepal aren't going to be at the T20 World Cup qualifier in a funny way, because Oman took one of the dedicated slots because of their qualification position in 2015, meaning Nepal had to go through the sub-regional Asian qualifying system where they couldn't get past Singapore and Qatar, and Singapore ended up topping the table, and they'll make their first appearance at the T20 World Cup qualifier this year.
Actually, I was not very much sure that Nepal will come up to the T20 because the performance in Singapore was not that much good as it should be. I think they lost 2 matches and they won 2 matches, and they were not able to come up with this qualifier.
11 overs gone now. Oman moved to 68 for 1, and let's just take a little bit of a look at the state of the game at the moment, because if you are just tuning in for the first time this afternoon, wherever you're joining us from around the world, whether it be back home in the Netherlands or here in Oman, or wherever you're watching from right away across the world, the Netherlands bowled all out for 94. You can see the graphics on your screen there. Career best bowling figures for both Zishan Maqsood and Kaur Ali, 4 for 7 and 4 for 16. It was 33 balls of utter carnage as they lost 8 for 22. In no time at all, the Netherlands to be bowled out for 94. And it's put Oman on the brink of making it 3 from 3.
Well, I think the all achievement that has been made by Oman from last 5 years, credit must go to Oman Cricket Board, the chairman and all the old board members who are so keen to support Oman cricket. I cannot tell you. I mean, every facility that has been provided to the team and the players, it's outstanding. They have done a great job creating these 2 beautiful grounds and lovely, international standard. We have these facilities at the moment right now.
Looks for the slog sweep. That time, Kaleem, and it just thuds into the pad, so a leg by signalled. Just take a very quick look at the over-by-over graph, because it might just paint a bit of a picture as to how drastic that collapse was from the Netherlands. You can see there, right the way up to the halfway point, lots of big tower blocks for the Dutch, but when those 2 spinners came on, the collapse was almost immediate. 3 wickets and 3 balls, a hat-trick for Kaur Ali, the first one by an associate male cricketer.
Yeah, of course, that is the plus point today, what Oman spinners have done, something which is really extraordinary they have achieved, especially Khawar and Zishan both. They have just done their outstanding bowling performances in international cricket, record 4 wickets, 7 runs, 3 overs, amazing.
Akib Ilyas using his feet down the track, got absolutely nowhere near the pitch of that delivery from Peter Seelar, but was good enough to hack it down the ground for a single to Paul van Meekeren. Peter Seelar has bowled a really nice little spell here, so have something to take from this game. The Dutch into his final ball of his third over. He's got 1 for 8, but he's bowled with good control, and with the conditions likely to be similar for the Dutch in Dubai, where their group is based. Just as I say that, he's hit away for the first 4 of his spell through the offside. Nicely put away by Kaleem, but you have to think that the Dutch are going to need to rely on their spin attack quite a bit. I think Ryan Tendashadi coming back into the team will be a help with his medium pace, but their seamers might not get too much joy from those Dubai wickets.
Well, I think Netherlands has to do a lot of hard work if they want to come up in the qualifier in Dubai, because right now what I have seen, I mean, except few of their bowlers, other bowlers are not coming up to the expectations, not bowling up to the mark. It mostly slightly short of the length, or it is half volleys. So I think they will have to do a lot of hard work.
Just 20 more to win now for the hosts Oman. There's a big brains trust conference going on between the Dutch bowlers, trying to do something to work out this side. You can see the points table there. Ireland are on top, but they're not going to be on top for much longer, because not only do Oman look like they're going to win this game, but they'll get a really significant net run rate boost as well, which will put them into almost an impenetrable position coming up against Nepal tomorrow. So even if Nepal win that match, you'd have to think, unless it's a real thrashing from Nepal, that the title will be going the way of the hosts to Oman. But you've no doubt that Dilip Mendes will be looking to make it 4 wins from 4 and continue his side's perfect preparations for next week.
Yes, of course. Netherlands has won a tournament here in Muscat about last year as well. They come up with the flying colours. They won this tournament. But this time I think the performance is not up to mark, if you ask me.
Paul van Meekeren back into the attack from the Muscat end. Struggled a little bit in his first over. It was the over that we suspect was probably a 7-ball over, called by the standing umpires. He also had a no ball. The free hit was only hit away for 2. But he'll be looking to get a bit of rhythm. And he's going to find a bit of rhythm. And he gives it a big celebration and a big roar, almost out of frustration as much as anything else.
Yeah,
but that was a good delivery, back of a length. And it's going to mean that Aqib Ilyas is going to come up short of his 50.
Yeah, he's unfortunate not to have deserved 50, which is normally used to go. It was a full brilliant shot outside the off stump and nicely taken at the short extra cover. Finally, it got a wicket, and Oman lost the second wicket at 75 for 2.
Yeah, just 20 more runs required, and really you have to think it's almost all she wrote now for the Dutch.
Well played, Aqib.
Big cheer from the Oman dugout and the home crowd for that innings from Aqib Ilyas, the highest score of the match so far. If you are just joining us, just take a quick look at the match summary, because it's really been all the hosts, although the Netherlands at one point were cruising at 71 for 2. Those career bests for Zishan Maksud and Kaur Ali, the 2-star performers, including a hat-trick for Kaur Ali. And that innings of 44 from Aqib Ilyas has Oman right on the brink. If you're picking a player of the match, which way are you going? Do you go to Kaur Ali with the hat-trick, or do you go to the captain Zishan Maksud for his 4 for 7?
I'm sure it will be very difficult for the judges to decide who is going to man of the match. But what I believe that Kaur Ali should get because of that hat-trick, things goes back in the favour of Oman.
And of course, those 3 wickets coming in the first 3 balls of his spell. The first time that's ever been done in a T20 international of any kind. New batsman.
Suraj.
Yeah, the new batsman to the crease is Suraj Kumar, the keeper. And he runs that off the face of the bat. He's off the mark straight away. Nice to see a good crowd in, but remember, if you are here in Muscat and you're tuning in and watching, do come on down tomorrow. 2 games, the first one at 9:30 a.m. Free admission, of course. And the second game at 2 p.m, which will decide the winner this week. Will it be the hosts Oman, who are in a very dominant position at the moment, or could it be Ireland, or even maybe Nepal? 3 sides still in with a chance of taking the title. Nicely bowled again by Van Meekeren. You can sense he's really trying to make a statement here. Skews off the outside edge, but not a huge amount really to cheer for the Netherlands today.
Yeah, of course, bad luck for them. It happens sometimes, it's all cricket. Has said that sometimes somebody you doesn't expect that something will be coming up and it goes the other way around. That's what happened to Netherlands today. It was totally unbelievable, unexpected.
We were talking during the innings break when we were off air, just how remarkable the collapse was. You couldn't have predicted it, but it was some really good spin bowling. You've just seen a really good piece of fast bowling, a short, sharp bouncer from Paul Van Meekeren, letting out some of that frustration and aggression. They're always aggressive souls, the quick bowlers, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, they should. And I'm sure he must be feeling heat because of those catches which has been dropped.
Yeah, those 2 drop catches came off the bowling of Fred Class and the big tall left armour, and he was really disgusted with his teammates. It was Tony Stahl who put down 1, and the usual wicketkeeper, Scott Edwards, who put down the other. He was in the outfield because Tobias Visay has the gloves today. Cut just over the head of the man at extra cover, and Max O'Dowd picks up cleanly. The throw comes in, could be half a chance.
Quick bowlers, aren't they?
Visay takes the bails off. They'll get back for 2.
And I'm sure he must be feeling heat because of those
really
catches which
just cantering to victory now.
Yeah, of course.
Those
After
2 drop
the
catches
victory in
came
the
off the
first
bowling of
match
Fred
against
Class and the
Hong
big
Kong,
tall
that
left
was also
armour.
a clinical
really
victory.
disgusting.
6. They did bowl out Hong Kong 67. And there's also some outstanding bowling there by Nadeem and Amir Kaleem and 2 spinners as well. And this is the second victory if they go through with this 2 wickets still on.
Yeah, Peter Seelar is going to take himself out of the attack. I suspect really just trying to get a few more overs into his quick bowler's legs at this point. The game is completely gone really for the Dutch. Just 16 more to win off 7 overs, 8 wickets needed.
Yeah. From now on, I think game looks to be over for Netherlands. Still only 15 runs required, 16 runs required, and 8 wickets in hand with a lot of overs remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be Shane Snater in for his first bowl of the day. A Zimbabwean-born, Essex-based all-rounder, and he's really an out-and-out bowler, so disappointment for him to only be bowling for the first time as the game is gone. But you can see Seelar just thinking ahead to the qualifiers now and wanting to get.
Sometimes, your losing streak gives you strength to come up with the next big tournament, like World Cup qualifier. Andrew, how do you see about Nigeria team? I never know about Nigeria, how they are playing.
Yeah, one of the rising.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, one of the rising stars really of the associate world, Nigeria. Snater finds the Yorker really well bowled. They came through as the replacement side for Zimbabwe, but they were quite impressive in the qualifiers, the Africa sub-regional qualifiers, that is, for the T20 World Cup.
I see, because we have never seen Nigeria, not ever we have played against Nigeria.
Well, yeah, they just pipped Uganda, who we have seen at those global qualifiers before, but it was their 2 wins in those sub-regional qualifiers in a rain-ruined tournament that meant they were picked as the African replacement for Zimbabwe. That short ball dispatched away by Suraj Kumar, the diminutive wicketkeeper batsman. Oman continuing to canter to victory. Yeah, Uganda will have been the ones that will have been disappointed from the African perspective.
We played them so many times and beaten them comprehensively, Uganda. But it's a good team to fight on them. Their fighters and very good all-round performers.
Yeah, the wins for Nigeria in that sub-regional qualifier came over Botswana and Ghana. But I suppose crucially there was also a couple of washouts. And that washout against Namibia and in the final game against Uganda, where no play was possible due to rain. Uganda were hosting that tournament, and not only could they not finish in the top 2 spots, but because they ended up finishing fourth in that group. The two automatic qualifiers were Namibia and Kenya, and then due to Zimbabwe's ongoing troubles, Nigeria have come in as the replacement.
That I know. But I don't know about the strength of Nigerian team.
Yeah, no, they're one of the rising stars, obviously a very populous country. Football being the national sport there, really. Driven down the ground, Kumar wants a single. Nicely fielded by Paul van Meekeren. Keep it to just one run. But yeah, real growth in the game there, and the recent efforts from the ICC development team. A big focus on Nigeria. And of course, Kenya's the former rising stars that were Kenya. Sad story, really, what's happened
Yes, absolutely.
to Kenya, former World Cup semi-finalists all the way back in 2003. But they'll be looking to get back to the world stage by taking one of the 6 qualification spots, and perhaps they'll go into the tournament slightly underrated. They've had a difficult 4 or 5 years, both on the pitch and administratively. As this one's skewed into the offside, going to be a chance for Paul van Meekeren. He can't get a hand to it. Things just not going the Dutch way today. And that's the end of the 14th over. We'll take a look at the replay. It was almost half a chance for Van Meekeren. He sprinted round to his right. Looked to me like it was a slower ball from Shane Snyder. It was the off-cutter. You could see it completely skew the timing of Amir Kaleem, but Paul van Meekeren just couldn't get underneath it. Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting 3 or 4 weeks of cricket. Many of the games broadcast all the way around the world, whether that be on Star Sports in the subcontinent, or you probably get it on something like OSN here in the Middle East.
Okay. Are they going to telecast live every match, or a couple of
I think over 20 matches will be telecast in the region.
Together.
Yeah, 20 to 25. There's a whole series of games in the tournament. I think from memory it's 51 matches. Yeah, the same format as the last time, and we'll see over 20 of those games broadcast right the way around the world.
Sensibly played by Amir Kaleem at wide mid-on for a single.
Yeah, you can see Oman just looking to go into cruise control. They've no real net run rate worries either. It doesn't matter if they win this match in 16 or 17 overs. They're so far clear at the top of the table with that net run rate that you'd have to think that they'll probably go on to take this tournament. Dooley Mendes, the head coach, couldn't ask for any more than that.
He's a terrific coach, I'll tell you. I've worked with him for more than 7 years. Not only him, the entire our support staff and the tour management is absolutely crazy for cricket. Pankaj Kimji is one of the senior director and he's the chief demission. Amazing. He's crazy for cricket. Vibrant person. Madhu, the general secretary, he too. They're all crazy for cricket. Entire Kimji family is crazy for cricket.
Let's hit down towards long off, and it's going to go straight down the throat of the man. So a little bit of relief for the Netherlands. A deserved second wicket for Peter Seelar. Comfortably taken by Fred Klaassen at long off. Suraj Kumar was looking for the maximum to try and end this game in a hurry, but all he could do is pick out the big tall left armour, Fred Klaassen, at long off.
Yeah, Suraj got out and tried to hit it over the wider mid-off, got off a good catch from the fielder at the deep recover boundary. So 3 wicket down, Oman's 87 for 3, is still 8 required. With this 15th over is underway.
Yeah, beautifully captured by Nagu, who's on the cameraman duties this week.
Yeah.
Panning out perfectly to see that catch. Nicely taken by Fred Klaassen. So Chiku, to my left, producing all these pictures. And of course, Praveen from the Cricket Club's team will be bringing you these pictures all week with Cricket Clubs Live here with Oman Cricket. Andrew Leonard here in the commentary box with Jamil Zaidi, the former Oman national team manager. And with just 8 runs to win now.
Yeah, all credit to this cricket club team of Praveen and Chiku, and Nagu is doing an excellent job on the camera. Chiku is doing his usual pictures on the laptop, and Praveen overall supervision, and Andrew lovely comment.